Alrighty, waiting for the timer to go down, are we? By the way, for those who didn't know, the flute player in that band was our community manager, Cordovan. True story. Alright, let's do this. Back to the other window. Come on. Hit the button. Ah, look at that. That's funny. Alright. Let me get the other one out of there. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I should say welcome back for me. There we go. My lore master, who's in Dol Amroth. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope everybody had a great Saturday. Tomas, ¿cómo está? Balgoza! My God, Balgoza. I've known you for how long? Since 2011? It's been a while. Of course, our good friend here, Igneous Orange. And so I'm just gonna spend a couple hours continuing the epic storyline. If you watched my official Lotra stream yesterday, we learned some very interesting things. We got to hang out with our expected friend J-Jax. Because we knew J-Jax was always coming back. Because that would have been highly stupid of the dev team to not have J-Jax around for the party in the Corsairs of Umbar. And now I'm going to roll my Hobbit present. Boop. And I'm also going to get my 2 carryalls back out of shared storage because I need to do that. Carryall and... Come on. There we go. Use that. There we go. Look at that. Look at all the free empty space in my inventory. Alright, so basically, on yesterday's Lotro stream, we traveled all over Gondor until we wound up in here in Dol Amroth, where we got to meet J-Jax, who J-Jax pissed off Prince Imrahil. However, we also met a very intriguing lore character who we didn't know was a lore character unless you were paying really close attention to what was going on here. In the meantime, we have now been sent to kill enemies in Lamedon and the Blackroot Vale and King's Gondor West. And we're supposed to travel through Callambel and Lothgabel and Dinadab, towns that we visited in the OG King's Gondor. So what we're going to do, though, is I'm going to, since I opened up the Swift Travel already to Callambel, we're just going to pop over there. And then we'll start riding through Lothgabel and Dinadab. And there's side quests there. I'm not going to really bother doing them, honestly, because most of them are not really relevant. I want to focus on the epic story because right now it's honestly, I was playing an undergeared, broken LI lore master, and I was still kicking some ass. So it is what it is. Alright, let's go to Callambel.
The long night has ended and the sun rises upon a peaceful kingdom.
Yes, it does. Alright. Tomas, what'd you have for supper? I had fish sticks. I should have had fish sticks yesterday because it being Friday and all. But I did not. Oh, hey, I did my taxes earlier today. And, I had to file state taxes for Ohio and Indiana, which made me sad. Oh, you finished the leftover salmon from last night. Oh my God. Alright. So I don't know how exactly it complains about, oh, you're traveling through Callambel. I think you have to just ride past Callambel, like over here somewhere. Or you go over to where the quest ring is. There we go. There we go. You didn't have to cook today. Hell yeah. Well, I didn't technically cook today either. I just threw my fish sticks in the air fryer for 15 minutes and it was fine. I am going to have ice cream later on because I think I deserve ice cream after representing my paper and doing my taxes today. I adulted. I was an adult. Oh, it's almost time for sunrise. We're in, what time of day is it? It is 4 dawn. And you can see the asterism, the Big Dipper here. Actually, all of Ursa Major is visible in the game. Horse butt. You can't really see it, but you can see the Pleiades here. And below the Pleiades, hidden behind the mountain, is Manel Makar, aka Orion. Not to be confused with the developer whose handle is Orion, who is, by the way, a really cool dude. I am really happy Orion came back to the dev team. Orion worked on both Locho and DDO. He also did some work on Asheron's Call. May it rest in pieces. Rest in peace. Though Asheron Call is not dead, it's just kind of stuff in a vault somewhere at Turbine. They never... Standing Stone wasn't allowed to bring it with them. Sad. Alright, let's get the Stable Master here. We're gonna ignore any side questing except I imagine this is a quest kitty, an irate cat. If it had a hat, a specific kind of hat, we could call it a pirate cat. We're gonna pet the cat though. It's an irate ginger kitty. I imagine it's a boy cat because the majority of ginger kitties are boys. Alright, let's pick up our Stable Master up here. I remember once upon a time, my friends Harnuth and Crystal Eowyn brought their band Hearth and Table over here and were serenading us when Corey was having some connection issues while we were here in Lothgabel many, many years ago. OG Lothgabel. And this, of course, this is the town that we first met J-Jax in, and oh so long ago. And one thing you may notice if you've been through the OG version of this area, the mountain pass didn't look so open. That's because Scenario went and made some changes to the landscape. Alright, Stable Master lady, come here, or I will come to you.
You're most welcome, my friend.
Alright, we like you too. I like how you can do this like dressage move on your horse just by, you know, strafing right. And it can also strafe left too. It can. Except my controller doesn't want to do it. But that's okay. Anyhow, yeah, this used to be a very V-shaped mountain cleft with just the path running up through it. Now there's a lot more space here because Scenario kind of bulldozed a bit of it. I think one of the things I always try to remember my privilege on is the fact that I have gotten to meet a number of the dev team hither and yonder. And I would like to think I'm on decent terms with them. I do try not to be a dick. Some people are. They're just like unreasonably mean to, you know, anything the devs do, and, you know, disrespectful. I just can't be bothered. And I thoroughly respect the team. I mean, anytime I go to Boston, I go to a specific taqueria. Because Bob Hess, one of the devs, took a few of us there one year. I was allowed to tag along when he was, you know, taking somebody else there. And we were out just hanging out, having these amazing burritos at this Felipe's. If you ever go to Boston, go to Harvard, on the red line of the T, and go to Brattle Street and get you some Felipe's tacos, and then you go back down across to the square and just go past the T entrance and go around the corner, and you go to Mike's Pastry and get you some cannoli. Hell yeah. And that Mike's Pastry actually accepts credit cards, unlike the Mike's Pastry downtown on Hanover Street where the mobsters eat. Also true story. Okay. Scenario met him a few times. I remember asking him about something that was on his screen. It's like, well, can you tell me about this? And his answer was no comment. It's always funny. Alrighty. We're almost here, but we still have to kill 18 things before we go to Morlod. And we're supposed to travel to the base of the hill. And so we're going to go find some friends here. As the sun rises over the Blackroot Vale. And we're gonna get shot at by dead dudes. That's okay. We'll kick his ass if he comes over. I will, however, summon my bog lurker, because bog lurkers are amazing! Except I always wind up clicking on them a lot. You don't want to play with my bog lurker. This is why my bog lurker is awesome. I can just tell it to attack and just stand back and watch. Hi, Legolas.
The Hill of Erech. We have seen it before, but in different circumstance.
He's given me some pants! And I must note, these pants are 20 character levels higher and 100 eye levels higher. That's a very big high upgrade. Thanks for the pants.
I do not wish to climb this hill again. The memory is grim.
The memory is grim and foul, is it?
This story that Legolas and Gimli speak about, it fills me with fright.
I don't want to go up there. Gimli, you were the one who didn't realize that the thing at the Arrowy wasn't true until we told you. Yeah, we were there.
I am not afraid, you understand. But there is little reason for us to climb again to the summit.
Okay. So one thing that's interesting about this is during the daytime, the dead aren't on the mountain. So it's like, well, where the hell do you go to get dead? Do you have to wait till nightfall? No. Because there's a door. Where are we? On the borders of the Paths of the Dead. So guess what? There's going to be some dead over there. But just to show you, there are no dead on the mountain during daytime. We're going to go ride. Scratch. There's wolves. There's all kinds of other critters. Yeah, follow me, wolf. But that was the last gasp of the dead until nightfall on the mountain. So I find that actually it's a really fascinating game mechanic where they make it so the dead only appear at night here. At least on the King's Gondor version. On the OG Gondor version, yeah, they're here all the time, I think, if I recall correctly. And this is where we meet Robolong for the first time, like right over here. But you see no glowy blue people. No radioactive smurfs. But you can go close to the Paths of the Dead and find as many dead dudes as you care to find. And you will want to pick up the Stable Masters. Just saying. Oh, I could have picked up the one behind me. I'm not going to go back and get it. Because I don't need to go there. Not on this character. I've decided I'm only going to really focus on completionist stuff on my main. She's the one that's going to do every single quest. All the other characters can do just the epic only, if that. And just do whatever they need to do to level. And some of them aren't even there to level, they're bank ults. Or if I feel the itch to play a low level. One thing about this is I don't generally feel the itch to play a lower level character quite as much. And there's also the simple fact of if I haven't met my particular goal any given 3-month season in the LI reward track, then I feel obligated to grind characters that are above level 50. Or 45 and have unlocked Moria. Whoops, I forgot this. Hold up, hold up. Let's take that quest and let's play. Oh man, that looked pretty. Alright, let's hit this. Heal us both. So the heal on that is like a minute long. Or the cooldown is a minute long. One thing I don't like about Lore Master is the fact that they are holding their staff in their primary fighting hand. Oh man, I could have used my AoE lightning for that. There we go, got them both. Sweet. I also noticed the bug the other day with the Umbari essences, the SLS essences. You can't sell them. That's a wee bit of a bug. That's a wee bit of a bug. Let's go talk to Rosfin, the mother of Darafin and Dwelin. Rosfin herself, I mean, the fact that Dwelin and... Also, by the way, I am going to give a local story spoiler. Standing Stone did a sneaky. They did a fucking awesome sneaky. And I only found this out when I was doing research for my paper. Because I was looking at, you know, the Lotro Wiki to see what quests the characters, like, okay, what quests do I want to mention for these characters and their stories? And Darofin... Was it Darofin or was it Dwelin? Let me look, because now I don't remember. I think it was Darofin. Lotro. So I found this on their page. Darofin. I think it was Darofin. No, it was Dwelin. No, this is not right. Was this on the wiki? Oh, it was Darofin. Never mind. Okay, so there is a quest. We might actually do this on stream. If I can go find the quest. So there's a quest chain that we're going to do one side quest because I want you to... This is going to enhance something that we're going to learn something very fascinating. And I honestly can't believe they got away with it. But then again, I can also believe they did, right? So we're going to play through the quest line. We're looking for a quest from a person by the name of Mathelum. Oh, it's the steward Mathelum. Alright, so we're going to do the quest, but let's do the epic... Well, maybe we'll do the side quest first. Since we're here, let's go find the stable master. Okay, Mathelum's up there. He's the steward of the Vale.
The long night has ended, and the sun rises upon a peaceful...
I might not be able to do his quest. I can't get the quest from him yet. I might need to talk to Rosfin first. And I did learn, by the way, my questing buddy taught me this one, is that it's actually easier to get to the top of Morlod by going this way. I normally just turn right. Like, you know how they say that you should always, like, if you're ever lost in a maze, always pick one direction, always turn in that direction. Eventually you get where you need to go. And they always turn left. I always turn right, but it's actually quicker to get where we need to go by turning, well, it's not really quicker, honestly. There are fewer twists and turns and cutbacks if you go take a left-hand side, but anyhow, here we go. Rosvin is very upset with us.
Lies upon the black root vale.
Because
For
you're...
all her young men were drawn away eastward to war.
And they all died. Many of them died.
I have told Rosvine over and over again that there was nothing I could do to save our sons.
But she will not listen. One other thing that I do know the dev team have been asked for repeatedly was to make it so you could jump off these cliffs. Basically, you should be able to jump down from here, and you can't. It's very annoying. Alright, we're gonna go the other way. Alright, you're mad at me.
I've got nothing to say to you. Move along.
Okay, we did stuff for you before, and you hate us, that's fine. You gonna have your goats attack me?
You dare speak to me after bringing such death to Morlod? I will not stand for this.
Oh, okay. That's what you get for messing with me, man. It's possible I might need to do some other quests to unlock that other one that I need to do. Kyber! You look upset.
Oh, am I glad to see you?
Oh, my thing despawned. That's nice. Alright, I got you. See, even without my dude, I'm fine. Alright, find Legolas and Gimli over here. We're gonna kill this heart first, because it's in the way. I like hitting things with lightning. It's so much fun.
Someone loosed an arrow at me from hiding.
These folk are not happy to see us. Uh-huh.
What is wrong with these people?
Gimli's not impressed. Alright, let's go back to talk to Dwinir. Let's ride the regular horsey. We're almost close to 142, which is pretty cool. Wait, this way.
Supporters of the heirs of Castamere? No, I do not think they are responsible for this. I bid you farewell, then. And I will try to master my grief and that of my people.
Alright, you're sworn to the Gondor. Alright, now we got a neck piece. Also in upgrade. I'm gonna lose some will and I'm gonna get vitality. I'm gonna lose some will though. And finesse and whatever. Alright. It's always sad when you replace a raid piece from the previous expansion with the first random ass green you run across. Alright, now let's go see if I have that quest available. I should theoretically have it. No. Okay, let me look at the quest chain to see if there's any prerequisites I need to do with this. Oh, I have to do the Lord's Edict. And that's given by somebody here. Oh, this guy. Hi.
It has been some time since you were last in the Blackroot Vale, has it not?
Yep.
It is my duty to inform you that the Vale does not allow for travelers without the permission of the Lord or without some suitable cause. Why have you returned?
Because the king told me to. The king. Alright. Oh, now I can talk to Salam. Okay, so he's the steward of the Vale while the Lord Duin here served in the war. The Lord Duin here has returned. Malthalam has kept his role as steward. Advised while the Lord and Lady remain grieving for the sons. If the business should demand an audience with the Lord and Lady, so be it, but for all the measure, I would not have you trouble him. Alright. Well, we're gonna go talk to Malthalam. Because I need his quest.
I must admit that I did not expect you to return to the Blackroot Vale so soon.
Okay,
You
lost
are,
so many.
of course, welcome to remain here as long as you wish.
Of course I am. Alright. The Blackroot Vale lost too many of its sons in the defense of Minas Tirith and the battles that followed, and I'm certain you know well. I must admit that I did not expect you to return. Lord Duin here has matters of his own to tend to, but I have the authority to grant you his permission. I must ask, what business brings you here? You return on the behalf of the king, who travels to see his new kingdom, and there's a hesitance. You must pardon my candor, but perhaps it's best you've come in the king's stead. The Vale mourns. May be a new time of peace. My people found little of it.
Much has changed since you last visited the Vale, my friend.
Okay.
The war exacted a heavy toll upon us, and many of our bowmen did not return from that journey to Minas Tirith.
Alright, Morlad has borne the greatest loss, with many sons being slain at the war, especially the Lord's sons. They were beloved among the people of Morlad. It is a great sorrow that neither of them will be heir to the lordship of the Vale. Between the news that King Elisar would not come to the Vale and of the baseless rumors that Lord Duin here slew an emissary of the Haradrim in Minas Tirith, the people of Morlad believe that the Blackroot Vale has come to be known as a place of disrepute, a place of low-born criminals not worthy of the king's attention. Such a thing cannot be true, of course. After all, King Elisar was swift to pardon the Lord when the true culprit was identified. But alas, voices carried through Minas Tirith. Oh yeah! Not Dwelin or Darafin, their father Duin here was accused of murder. Alright. People like me here, except those surly ones we just talked to. Alright. Travel to the hamlets of Allegrant, Sardal, and Landcraft, and Tingabel. Has been rebuilt since time in Vale. Alright. We're gonna go right around then. And then, because I know what's going to happen next in the quests, so this is why this quest is very fascinating to me, and we're gonna see what you all think about it when we get there. If you've already played through this quest, you probably know what I'm about to discuss, or what we're about to see, but if you haven't, I think you may agree that this is I'm not sure if it is actually the first, but it might be the first of its kind in the game. That it's so explicit and that it involves a lore character. And so I can understand that some people might be upset about it, but you know, those people can go pound salt. Alrighty. Kalinin.
Welcome back to Alagrant, my friend.
Oh, a
To
Logrant.
what do I owe this visit?
Alright, come on behalf of the king. Alright. Alright. Alrighty, so now we go to the next town, which is down this way. Let's jump over your campfire, go riding down the hill. Ow, stop it. Will we get to smelt it or not? The answer to that question is not. That was nice. I'm gonna go to Sardal. Nice little hamlet here. Get its stable master.
The shadow of war is now behind us, and Gondor rejoices.
Well, most of it.
Oh, hello! I haven't seen you in quite some time. I'll have to tell Sardio that you're back. What brings you to Sardal?
Alrighty. I am an emissary of the king. So these people like me more than the other people did. Some unsavory folk lurking on the road near Tarlang's crown, but it was not like that, like when that so-called Casimir Ruthor first set his encampment upon it. So yeah, basically this tells you that this is why Tarlang's crown is not such a bad place that it used to be. Alright, let me get this out of here. I know, Kevin, but this isn't Gondor has no druids, so it's fine. It's fine. I mean, I'm not breaking the rules. How you doing, Kevin? By the way, for those who don't know, who may not have seen the notice in Discord, I finally gotten off my ass and made a Thief Kitty t-shirt you can get if you want. I'm not gonna push it on you, but there is a merch command if you want the link to get it. If you're not interested, it's also fine. It's basically, I went and used Photoshop last night to make a new higher res version of his emote based on the same photo that I used to make the emote. And then slapped it on a t-shirt with the name Thief Kitty. And said he is the void of twitch.tv/druidsfire. So it's still stream merch, but it's Thief Kitty. I might put that design on like other items if people don't want to get a t-shirt. Like I'm also willing to take suggestions. Like coffee mugs seem to be an obvious one. I don't know what people want. I just know if I'm gonna buy something from a streamer, I always get like the t-shirt because I can wear that around. But that's just me. Yes. Where did that title come from anyway? Gondor has no druids. It came from the old Boromir meme. Gondor has no king. Gondor needs no king. And then it quickly got memed into Gondor has no pants. Gondor needs no pants. And so Gondor has no druids. It's a thing. Alright. Let's get the stable master here.
Gondor has a king again.
He's happy about it. Alright, let's go talk to Osmond.
Ah, what an unexpected return.
Yeah, I think that
What business brings
might have
you to
been the
Umbar?
link to it, now that you mention that. Because I never connected it to the fact that Boromir had no pants in the Bakshi film, but now that you mention it, it's like, well, shit, that's where it must have come from. That makes a lot of sense now that you mention that. Alright. So these are half and half like me, half don't, whatever. Oh, they're grumbling about Tinkerbell. Okay. That of the sleepless dead. You've forgotten another matter entirely. When the king summoned them, they followed him past Lancaster. How scared our children were, how heavy that the dread laid upon our hearts of our elders. No? Short of banishing the last of the dead, there's little else that troubles us here now that the war's ended. If that is authority is the King Elisar's alone, then I ask why he's not used it for the good of his people. Forgiveness or no, what further use could those dead men have to Gondor? They must endanger. So I believe keeps our lives a very worthy cause. He pauses. Forgive me. I apologize for my harsh manner, but you must understand that all is not well simply because Gondor has won the war. As always, you are welcome. King Elisar has much to prove to us. So, overall, these folks are not all that happy. Thinking the pooing it in the animated version? Oh, yeah. In the Ralph Bakshi film, Boromir was basically like your standard fantasy barbarian type. Big, horned helmet. Kind of like the Viking helmets that aren't actually historically accurate. He had a tunic, and he had no pants. Actually, I don't think Aragorn had pants either. They just had tunics. They went down to, like, just the top of their knees or whatever. Honestly, they kind of made Aragorn look like a Native American with short hair in the Bakshi film. Yeah, and Boromir had, of course, he had his horn. He had a big shield and a sword. Just a random ass sword. But he's definitely not what I thought he'd look like. Alright, here's some bowmen. Some actual bowmen here. Drobnir, what you got for me, sir?
Hail! What business do you have in Tinkerbell? Has the Lord sent you to check on our progress?
Oh no. Come on behalf of the king! Alright. Have not been forgotten to Gondor, and that King Elisar mourns those who were slain by the orcs of the White Mountains. So these folks are less grumpy about it than the others. Okay. I know well the role King Elisar played in securing the newfound peace in Gondor. I was there, but many of these folk were not. It's important that they know Gondor remembers them, and the king works in their best interest. Alright, so these people are not cranky about the king's lack of a visit. Alright, let's go back to Malthelm. You have to rewatch it now. Yeah. I remember the first time I saw that film, it was on a bootleg VHS that I picked up at some convention, and unfortunately, it doesn't contain the entire film because the VHS that was used to copy it onto didn't have enough space on the tape for the whole thing. So I don't think I've actually seen the whole thing. Got most of it, though. Yeah, like a barbarian from Asterix. So that's kind of cool that now suddenly we have this revelation. You love the Hobbit animated movie? I loved most of it except the Glenn Yarborough singing. The other singing in the Rankin and Bass, both the Hobbit movie and their adaptation of Return of the King, best damn music ever. Honestly. But the folksy singing with the vibrato voice, do not like. Do not like. Alright. Let's go talk to Malthalam, and we're gonna get the side quest that I'm actually here for.
At last you return, my friend. What
Mother...
had the folk of Alagrant, Tingerbell, Sardal, and Lungcraft to say of King Elisar's gratitude? I hope they were a more welcoming sort than you encountered here in Morlard.
Well, mostly. So he doesn't envy me for the role I played in all this. Should be some time before Lord Duinhere returned to his duties, and meantime I'll try my best to serve in his stead. Okay, so... now what? So now I need to find a quest that starts with Mathelum. Okay, we did that one. So I'm looking for a quest called the Wayward Bowman. Oh, it starts with this dude over here. I was looking in the wrong place. Okay. So this is
Might
what...
I trouble you with a more private matter, my friend?
Yeah,
One
this
of
is
my bowmen, Agnir, has taken an unexpected leave of his duties here in Morlard.
Okay, so this is the important thing. This is the quest that I was talking about. So I want you to pay very close attention to it. He's taken unexpected leave of his duty here in Morlard. It's not like him, at least not as he was before he set off for the war with Lord Duinhere, but now, and it pains me to say it, I can scarcely recognize him. Before he left, few could contest that he was one of Lord Duinhere's most skilled bowmen, only equaled by the Lord himself and his two sons, Duilin and Durafin. When Agnir returned, I saw in his eyes a sorrow not unlike that of Lord Duinhere and Lady Rosvin, but I do not know why it has taken hold of him. I have asked him, but he will not answer, and now he's gone so far as to leave Morlard. Do not misunderstand, my friend. I would not see him punished, but I worry for him, and I worry that he may not return to us at all. I actually heard he was traveling southward toward Alagrant. Seek him out and ask him to come home. Okay, let's go. Yeah, the Rankin and Bass cartoons had... their stories were a little bit wacky. That whole thing about Gandalf breaking the fourth wall at the end of Return of the King and asking if you might have a bit hobbit in you. That was a little bit weird. Alright. But the songs, such as when Frodo and Sam have been captured by the orcs, where there's a whip, there's a way, that's a banger! And of course, down, down to the Goblin Town, down, down to the Goblin Town, you go, my lad, ho ho, my lad. Alright, this is... oh, I gotta talk to Kaladin. Hi, buddy. You know what, I'm gonna just, like, sit in this chair. Sometimes the game will let you. I know, they're so catchy. Whereas The Greatest Adventure, sung by Glenn Yarborough, well, do not like. And it's not because Corey doesn't like it. Corey is also not a fan. And I know there's lots of people in the Signet community who love those songs. It's just like, the vibrato in his voice is just like, ugh, don't like it.
Agnir, you say? Yes, a man by that name did pass through the other day, but he left not long after he arrived. Why don't you ask Sarnir if he knows where he's gone?
Okay, seemed a bit one-sided, but I hear Egnir answer him on a few occasions. Why don't you ask Sarnir if he knows where Egnir has gone? Thank you. All right, look how pleasant I look here, sitting in this chair. All right, Sarnir is over here. Hi.
Ah yes, Egnir was here for a brief time. He told me he had a matter to attend to in the woods just outside Lagrant, but he would not say more of it. I must confess, I spied him carving something into one of the trees just to the west.
Okay. So that's actually really long for a character voiceover. Like, he like read a whole bunch of this, like, right here. Like, my curiosity got better of me, so I followed him at a great distance. I spied him carving something into one of the trees, but I dare not interrupt him, and I made my way back to Lagrant before his work was finished. I did speak to Egnir when he returned. He said he was going to meet someone, but I can't remember the name of the man he mentioned. It started with an L, but what was it? I haven't been back to see his handiwork in the woods, so why don't you find out what he was carving? In the meantime, I'll try to remember that man's name. Okay. Ponton Finberry! How the hell are you, sir? Y'all missed my presentation earlier, my re-presentation of my paper from TextMoot, but I'll be putting that up on the YouTube channel later. Alright, where's the damn tree I need to find? Looks like it's gonna be this tree. Except we gotta kill this, See, that's why I love having a bog lurker. Oh-ho. A defaced carving on a nearby tree. The carving has been defaced by deep slashes. It still clearly reads E plus D. E plus D. Oop. Hey.
Defaced? Perhaps I was mistaken. Maybe it was carved some time ago then by another's hand or even Egnir's own. As you describe it, it seems to me a sort of lover's mark, but I say some sorrow must lay heavy upon Egnir's heart. For what other reason would he travel so far from Morlad to try to rid himself of it?
Again, there's like so much voice acting in this quest. You found the carving, but its appearance has been marred by several deep slashes hewn into the tree's bark. And you tell it E plus D. Some lover's mark. So this E isn't meant to refer to Egnir, but D could refer to countless people in the Vale. One thing is for certain, that does not appear to refer to Dirian over there. I don't believe he and Egnir have ever exchanged a single word. Hey!
I the name of that man Egnir meant to meet. Ludia. I believe he's one of the Lord's archers, but I couldn't say where to find him.
Who sent
Who sent you here again? Widor, was it? You ought to ask him then.
I know him to be one of the Lord's finest captains of Morlad, and surely you know better than I. I hope you find Egnir. It seems his sorrows have taken hold of him, and I know all too well how difficult that embrace can be to break. Okay. Honestly, I hadn't expected to be doing this little side quest, but since it ties into my paper in a fashion, we'll find out here just how in a moment. So we were told to go talk to Uidir. Wait, did he give us another quest? I don't. Let me go back. Let me get closer to see, because I think Dirian had a separate quest. Oh, Sarnir did have a quest. Hold up. I may have not actually taken the quest. Duh. Alright, here we go.
I finally recalled the name of that man
Yeah,
Egnir
here we go.
meant to
Thank
meet.
you. Pardon me.
Ludia. I believe he's one of the Lord's archers.
Once we finish this quest, we'll resume working on the epic story. We're 142 out of 150. And honestly, with the lore master, I feel very comfortable running quests up to the reds. 5 levels above. 4 or 5 levels above. Because Bog Lurkers, this Bog Lurker is so powerful. As long as I'm not going to be and a lot of the stuff is a lot of running around. And a lot of killing of mobs that aren't that powerful, so... Honestly, I don't foresee there being an issue. And I'll get more XP that way. Alright, Udir. Whoa, lag spike. Hi.
Ludir? What business could Egnir have with him? Ludir patrols the northern road that leads to Fenasdur, to the Pass of the Dead. I do not like this at all, my friend. Seek out Ludir and see if Egnir is still with him.
Alright, after the king pardoned the better-hearted of their kind, we thought the dead would not trouble us any longer. How wrong we were. Ludir's even had to shorten his patrol of late since the ruthless dead now dared to drift further from the darkness of the haunted mountain. Why would he want to go there? I've not known him and Ludir to be particularly close friendly as they are to each other. Okay. I kind of have to say that because of the topic of the paper, that it's kind of already telling you who this riddle that we're unraveling it refers to. At least you have a good guess who we might be talking about. I remember seeing a loot here when we did run across and killed the dead earlier. It's like, why couldn't we do this before? But you have to do the story in sequence, so it makes sense. So the context is there. Now, I do have to say, one thing Lotra does very, very well that World of Warcraft does not is, by simple dint of the fact that Lotro breaks up its epic story into chapters with a distinct sequence, you know what's supposed to come next. Like 3.6 is going to be followed by 3.7, etc. WoW doesn't do this, and it fucking drives me insane. Because I was following the story in Dragonflight, for example. There's a lot of great story in Dragonflight. And then at one point I lost the thread, and then because I was doing other things and wasn't like hyper focused on staying up on top of the story, every time they throw something new out, the way their UI works, I wouldn't know where the hell I was. It's like, okay, well, what do I do next? And they keep pushing you to do the latest thing, do the latest thing, do the latest thing. But I'm like, no, I want to go back and do this other stuff I haven't done yet. And they're very bad about helping you do that, is to go back and do the story in sequence.
Hail! Take care, traveler, for the road ahead is treacherous. Turn back or... Oh, wait a moment, I remember you. You were the one who came through the Pass of the Dead.
I was. But not on this character. Have you seen a man named Egnir? Ludir's face sinks and he sighs. Yes, I've seen him, but he's unwell. He's gone up the road to Fenasdur, and he's loosing arrows at the ruthless dead for hours. I do not know what has gotten it. How does he keep loosing arrows for hours and not run out? This is not a video game where you have unlimited ammo. Even if you are... Okay, if you are a hunter, you know... He must be hunter class, obviously. Never runs out of arrows. I don't know what's gotten into him, but he must carry some terrible burden on his heart. I've heard him call out to them, taunt them, scream at them, until his voice was hoarse, and still he continued, as if he labored in service of some unknowable quest. The dead will tire of him sooner or later, and I would not see him throw away his life now, after he survived the war. He would not listen to me when I told him he ought to return to Morlod, but perhaps he'll listen to you. If nothing else, at least convince him to leave this place. And never return. So one of the quotes in my paper from the poem about the Mounds of Munberg, I do have to mention something every time I read the poem, and if I'm trying to be serious, I ignore the thought that intrudes. if I'm not being serious. It's the part where it talks about Horn and Fostra had fought and fell there in a far country, and it says, in the mountains of Munberg under mold they lie, in the land of Mordor where the shadows lie. That's immediately where my mind starts wanting to wander. The mold of Mordor. Anyhow. I don't know. Has anybody else thought of that, by the way? Oh, here's Egnir. Let's get our thing out. Because we might need to be shooting people. With a bitter gaze fixed upon the ruthless dead, Egnir barely acknowledges your arrival.
Widor is a wise man, but grief does not make a good bedfellow of wisdom. That is the very reason why I left. When my grief turned to anger, I found my own hand destroying something dear to me. Something irreplaceable. I stopped myself before it was too late, but even so, I could not shake the anger in my heart.
So he was trying to destroy it. His gaze remains fixed on the ruthless dead along the road ahead. You tell Egnir that you were sent by Udir to ask him to return to Morlot. You mentioned that Udir seemed worried about him. Alright, so he's wise, but yeah. In my journey back from the war, I learned that not all of the dead heeded the summons of King Elisar, and that those wretched spirits still haunted the Vale. And so I turned my anger upon them, hoping beyond hope that I'd find some reprieve from my grief. Alas, I have not. I have vanquished dozens of these ruthless dead, but always they return and I feel no better for it. And now my anger has all but burned out. It is curious, though. Each time I slay one of them, they leave behind a pile of glimmering dust. Is that their essence? It always seems to fade away to naught after a time, and then they are again reborn into restless death. Have you ever seen such a thing? If you would gather some of it, I can show you. Okay, we're gathering piles of glimmering dust. This is gonna go well. Well, that should have caused a pile of glimmering dust for me to pick up. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna collect a few of them. Come on, y'all. Come on, boys. You two, over here. And that's why I love lightning storms. It's so much fun. Alright, we gotta go back to Egnir. Oh man, that's why I love this. AoE is so much for lightning storm. It's super sexy. I love it. I love it to bits and bits and bits. Okay, so Egnir is angry and he's grieving.
I try and I try to make sense of this world, but how can I do that? Look at these turncoats and murderers. They persist evermore, flitting through the world of the living. And we are made to think they suffer some terrible curse. But when good man, perishes, no matter how valiant his deeds or how pure his love, he is simply dead, and there is nothing that can be done for it. Oh, if only Deraphine had broken an oath.
Ooh. Alright. It appears the vanish forever touches the ground. You're going. After this dust like still they still remain. How can you take so much of someone and expect anything to be left? How queer to think that I might envy such a fate. Alright, so his speech is very important here. And this is where Standing Stone probably had to get permission to do this. And if you can kind of tell, this is not one of their normal voice actors. Like the ones who just do generic ranges and whatnot. Honestly, it kind of sounded like Brandon McInnes. And I am going to ask Cordovan next week when he's back in the office. Because I don't bug him for work on the weekend. I'm going to ask Cordovan who did this voice acting, if he can find out for me. I want to know. It kind of sounds like Brandon McInnes, who did the voice of Frodo in the End of the Ring sequence. So, Ignir is upset about Daraphin dying. A good man perishes no matter how valiant his deeds or how pure his love. He is simply dead and there is nothing more can be done for it. If only Daraphin had broken an oath. You notice he's begun to weep and his once stern countenance has broken. You comfort him as best you can. He begins to sob and after a time he steadies himself and turns to you. I mourn the life I had wished to live, my friend. Daraphin had not even told Lord Duinhir of us before the war took him. And now, who am I to the Lord? One of 1,000 bowmen? Because they took 500 with them. But perhaps the only one who truly knows his loss. Perhaps that is enough. Need not ask again. I'll return to Morlod. So, Egnir and Daraphin were lovers. So this is Lotro. This may be Lotro's first actual proper, not implied, but actual for real, gay love story. I could be wrong. There may be something else I've missed in the past because I haven't done every single damn quest in the game. But this one, even if this isn't the first, this is the first one that involves a lore character. So I would hope that friends of ours in the LGBTQ community are aware that this quest is a thing. That they might find some... And sadly, it does hit one of the tropes of the inclusion. That's kind of representation where, like, well, it's the whole kill the gays trope, which is despicable, but in the context of the story, it makes sense. And it's not like you're killing somebody who's gay for the sake of you're doing like this whole story about the survivor and using it as like the survivor's motivation, kind of like, you know, the whole thing about fridging women characters, like the girlfriend of the heroic character, to give the heroic character motivation for their actions or whatever. Oh, there's a female dwarf in Azan Nulbazar who refers to another dwarf as her wife. Okay. I'll have to go back and look at that. But neither of those are book characters, because the only female dwarf we know of is Deis, according in the lore. So this may be the first one that is for involving a lore character, then, in this case. But still, having something like that is still good, because again, there's only so much that it's not even in terms of getting away with it. It's in terms of what makes sense for the story and how truthful Standing Stone tends to be with the characters. How close to the books they tend to portray the characters. And so suddenly giving a book character a same-sex romance, even though it does end in tragedy because the book character dies, But then again, I want to think of it this way, but I understand that this is not how people regard it, right? Giving Horn a non-canonical enemy who became, you know, the mother of his child or whatnot is way different. It's a minor thing in text, right? Okay, that's probably why I missed it. Because I've done the Battle of Azanul Bazaar, and it's a lot of fun. I actually can't wait till Corey gets to it, Ponton. Because he's going to love it. I think he's going to really love it. There's just so much story in there. But God only knows how long it'll take him to get there. I mean, I'm not even talking about his Grifflet streams on Fridays, because he's going to do the whole ass completionist on that. But no, when it comes to having his Wiggin character get there, because Wiggin only does the epic story. Like, if he needs to level up, he does a little bit of side questing, or he's always running XP boosters. But today's been a pretty good day, aside from the fact that I had to do my taxes. And, as I tweeted earlier today, the federal and the state taxes were super easy to do and file. Except for the fact that I apparently had to file taxes in the state of Indiana this year because I worked for a company at Gen Con. And so it counts as Indiana state taxes, so I had to take care of that. They owed me a $5 refund. And they had to pay $15 to get them. Because apparently Indiana's like really dumb and won't let you just file on their website. Like, the state of Ohio has a thing called iFile, which is where you can file your state taxes. And what I should have done is filed my state taxes on Ohio's website, but I wasn't thinking about it at the time. But I couldn't file my Indiana state taxes on it. I mean, Ohio doesn't owe me that much anyway. But I got hit with a bill from my local town because they didn't take out enough tax this year. Bastards. And unfortunately, I don't get a refund for the town that I work in also taking out local taxes, even more than the amount my actual town that I live in. And so, Brandon McInnes, who does Frodo during the End of the Ring sequence, it sounded a bit like him, but I could be wrong. Alright, King and Queen, let's go.
Thank you for going on my behalf to Morlod.
You're gonna go see Anfalas and then you'll stop by. Okay.
This is the road to Anfalas, westernmost fief of my husband's kingdom.
Okay, Galazgil. We were there when Galazgil died on the slag heaps. At the Battle of the Morannon. Alright, let's go to town. I'm gonna listen to some of Bill Champagne's latest music, as we have been listening to through the entire stream, including during the paper that I was given earlier. Oh, there is a voice acting section in the Umbar credits? I'll have to go look at it. Once upon a time, Cordovan told me that Richard Armitage, aka Thorin from the Jackson movies, did some voice acting for either Locha or DDO, but he couldn't tell me which character they played or when it was, and I couldn't find any information about it anywhere else. I should go look at the game credits at some point. I don't think I have actually looked at the Umbar game credits. I'll do that after the stream, though. We got about 50 minutes left to go in my usual 3-hour window. So this character has not done most of the epic story, so for her, when we get to the specific point for Driftwood. Driftwood, let's just say, will be the one that appears if the canonical Driftwood, shall we say. So if you're following the book's canon as written, then Driftwood is not the cooler one. Which is kind of sad if you think about it. In that, if you choose the true 100% true to book version of the story, the better version is the non-canonical one. That's actually funny. I mean, the non-canonical version that we'll be doing as this character is still good. Let's go all the way back to... Oh! So I think that might actually be new, Ponton? Because I don't recall them doing it that way. Though, to be fair, I haven't read the credits for Before the Shadow. I didn't think to do that. It'll give me something to do after the stream, though. Because it's either that or I was going to go play more Plunderstorm. I actually wound up getting 4 levels in Plunderstorm Thursday night, and I got 4 levels last night, so now I can run around in World of Warcraft with a bird dressed up as a pirate sitting on my head. A little orange burb. Alright, Melgabas. Let's go talk to the stable master first.
We must not let our vigilance lapse.
Thank you.
Who are these fine folk? The king and queen have come to unfold us? I never thought I would see such a day as this.
Alright, I gotta go kill things to get a weapon we can't even use. Let's go. Lynxes and Corsairs. I did remember running right past a Corsair a ways ago. And a whole bunch of lynxes all over the place. And of course, now that I need them, they're nowhere to be found. Wait, there's a lynx right there. A little bit of a wider view here. I see you. Of course, Corey and Michael are in the credits. Yeah, they've been. One thing that surprises me is that they haven't stuck an NPC of Corey somewhere in the game, somewhere. I mean, Michael Drought, he's actually involved in a quest. Druid the Scholar. Though I'm happy that they do have the Dwaro Scholar in as a in-game NPC. Because one thing I also appreciate about Lotro is the fact that they don't do just random ass NPCs of real-life people. There are a very few, but not many, and I like it that way. If they had like as many references to real-life people in Lotro as there are in World of Warcraft, I would thoroughly hate it. Even if I myself got one, if somebody at Standing Stone said, yeah, we're going to put Druidspire into the game somehow, I'd be like, yeah, no, I don't want to be in the game. I have my character right here, I'm good, thanks, appreciate it. Need a Corsair, not a corpse prowler. I'm sorry, Copse Prowler, not a corpse prowler. Very different. And you can find Corsairs all over the place around here, except when you need them. Alright, we're gonna go ride. I think we're gonna go ride. There's a Seahawk. There's a Copse Prowler. There's the Corsair I was thinking about. There's a Castaway. Get this guy. And he dead. Now if I had like a scroll of tracking or something, that'd be easy peasy. Seahawk. Seahawk. Of course, the scrubland flies are not enemies of Gondor. Well, maybe they are. Oh, here's the other Corsair castle I was thinking about. Alright, let's go look around for another one. We'll go down this way. Drought did a talk about the Shire once for us years ago at an event in Kirkalla. Hell yeah. Yeah, Mike Drought is a really cool dude. I've gotten to interact with him a few times in the course of my duties for Signum University. I helped him get into our Discord and get his creative circle stuff set up. He seemed pretty chill. Seahawk. 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 Not to be confused with the Seattle football team. Honestly. Alright, what's down there? What's down there? That's a prowler. And I think that's the one downside of this particular quest is like everything's like all over the damn place. It's like, where the hell are they? I don't know. We'll go look on the other side of the road. I just need, and I need 6 of them. Oh. There can't be just like some convenient camp of Corsairs that you just farm or anything. That would be too easy, I guess. I love the trees here, though. The windswept trees. Alright, what do we got? We got a fly, got a Seahawk. Seahawk. I don't know why my horse is winning. There's a Corsair over there that I didn't notice. Ow. Alright, we'll go over here and see if we can find some. Bum, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. One thing I would love to see, it would never happen, but it would be, in light of the fact that our regional moot coordinator, Adam Beaton, really likes game shows. He loves game shows. I would pay real money to see some kind of Tolkien trivia game show featuring Mike Drought, Professor Corey, Tom Shippey, Verlin Flieger, hosted by Stephen Colbert. Oh, and Chris Pearson. And Chris fucking Pearson. Because I hate to break it to y'all, if you don't... One thing people may not realize, that Chris Pearson's knowledge of lore is just as scholarly and as in-depth as many of those other dudes. And lady, because Verlin is a very nice lady. She's like the elder matriarch of Tolkien scholarship right now. Southern Europe, Mediterranean field of the vegetation and landscape in this region? Yeah. Like, if you go, especially if you go up into Pineth Gelen, hello, Italy, right? We got some for me up there. Alright, come on, give me a freaking Corsair to kill! Not a Seahawk, I said Corsair. You know, like the gaming peripherals? This is like one of my least favorite quests because the Corsairs are just like, if you're a hunter, like I was running this with my friend and I was on a hunter, easy peasy. But I don't want to use a tome of tracking for something this big. They should have been like one small area. I'm just gonna hit him with a big honking ass. Okay, one more Corsair. Why are you pointing behind me? Bunch of blueberries. I want a bunch of blueberries. The closest I'm gonna get is I'm gonna get a bowl of black raspberry ice cream later tonight. Hell yeah. I think if there were to be a Tolkien trivia game show using those personages I just named, it could not be like a reflex sort of thing, like you have to press a buzzer, be the first one to press a buzzer, because a few of those folks are a little bit on the older side of things, particularly Shippy and Flieger. Alright, let's get back to town. Where are we compared to town? Yeah, we're gonna ride across the landscape this way. Now, let me check my reward track while I'm thinking about it. I'm at 40! I haven't even really been trying, but yeah. About to get my 40. I'll probably get it just on this quest. Alright, let's go a little bit closer. I actually don't like to have my character that far away, because it always feels like I can't see what I'm doing. Oh, Tomas, have you been keeping an eye on what's been going on with those newly uncovered paintings in Pompeii? In the Black Room? Oh, I was reading some articles about that earlier today. It looked really fascinating. Oh, sure! One right, you bastard! No, you should. They're really, really fascinating. Yeah, I did the thing you wanted me to do.
You took care of the beasts that threaten Melgabos?
Look, so now give me a puddle to jump in. It's a puddle. It's a puddle! Too bad it doesn't splash. I hate... It's the one thing I dislike about the bog lurker. I always wind up clicking on them.
If you have the trust of King Alisar, I suppose you have more than earned my own.
Okay.
This is not the first time Orgelos has slipped his keeper's watch.
Okay, so the kid likes to run off. Got it. The missing heir. You've been to Pompeii? Oh, Pompeii once. See, you're spelling it that way. In America, we typically spell it P-O-M-P-E-I-I. Interesting. So when you spell it that way, I think of the Roman general. Yeah, Pompeii with the double I's. And when you spell it with the Y, I always think of the, okay, to the east. Ignore the sad lady here. No, it's not your mistake or anything. It's like, as far as I knew, it was a valid alternate spelling. I just had never seen it spelled that way before. Because again, when you spelled it with the Y, I always associate it with the Roman general. To the east we go not. Talk to Darum. Alright, where'd he go? Probably that nice bright tower up there with the beacon. That's a tower. It's not really so much a beacon as a tower, is it? There's a town called Pompeii, but... well, we have... Here, if you want to cringe, there's a town in Indiana. Spelled exactly the way that one spells a rather famous French king's super expensive and thoroughly money-gulping palace. Only they pronounce it Versailles. Yeah.
You found no sign of the boy?
Alright. Oh, the king just rolled in. Sorry. Alright, we're going to Baird Fane, which apparently Fane is a naughty word in some other language. Oh my. Alright, we're gonna go for about another half hour, unless I get tagged, because it's generally about the hour at which if I'm going to be gaming with my friend, I might hear from them soon. So if I hear from them, then I'm gonna cut y'all loose a little bit early and go game with my friend. So I haven't gotten to do that for a few days. Because we've both been busy. And if I don't hear from him, we'll finish out the half hour. Yeah, there's another Corsair there. See, as soon as I don't need them, Corsairs coming out my ears. Damn it. And it's a good time of day to be running around these areas. It's just afternoon. The sunset's gonna be amazing when we get there. That Corsair was taking bush hiding lessons from a Mumak kill. From the Mumak. Down the hill. It's always good to have my friends hanging out. A nice quiet stream tonight. I do need to point out next week's Saturday stream is going to be a long stream. I'm already gonna warn you now. Next week's stream will be a special event. I'm gonna start at noon until I get done. The Lotro anniversary will be up.
You are here to help?
And my tradition is I am going to raise money for the Extra Life Children's Charity. And I'm going to run the Tales card, the character-driven cards, for all 11 years of the anniversary, plus the epilogue, from stem to stern, probably on this character, because she hasn't done it yet. I was thinking about doing it on my High Elf Mariner.
This is just the sort of place I expected. What do you make of these tracks?
Small tracks, so they're youngin'. And we're gonna have a modest goal because it's only gonna go for the one day, and we'll see how we do. I do know that if I raise $100, I'll get a special glass D20 from Extra Life because they're doing a thing. But that's not why I picked the 20th for the event. It's mainly because the 27th I will be running the Zoom call for UK Moot, and there's no way in hell I'm going to be doing a 12-hour stream afterwards. It's not going to happen. Orgalas, you can wait, because I want to show you how amazing this game looks. Look at that. You see Dull Amherst in the distance. And as it's afternoon, it's going to start getting the golden hour up here. Oh, shit, there's the wrong gill. And of course, Orgalas is the game's son for
What do you want?
Glasgill.
I'm not ready to return to Lon Kirian, and you cannot make me.
Haven't even seen any of the Corsair ships up close? Okay.
Wait, who is that man? Is he King Elisar?
The king came to find you. Oh, I get gloves. Nice. Again, the Boglurker gets
Lead on, young Master Orgalas. We will follow you to Lond Kirian.
Alright. It's called Kyria Lunde by the men of Numenor, who settled there in the Second Age. It's the oldest Numenorian settlement in Gondor, but its original name, held abuse, is now Lon Kirian. Or we all misread it as Lord Kirian. Skolasgil's ruling seat, now his widow Mara holds it there until their son comes of age. Aww. Alright, let's go to Lon Kirian. Alright. And of course, we're gonna go cross country. Why? Because I really hate my horse. No, I actually really like my horse. She's all white. And I call her Snowflakes. So I will be streaming again next Thursday. on DDO stream between 1 and 4 in the afternoon. I will then be streaming again Thursday evening right here. Friday I will be off because Friday I will be streaming on Lotro stream, but I will be streaming earlier because Corey will be away. And then on Saturday, on the 20th, I will be streaming the Extra Life Marathon. I have reached out to Cordovan to ask to see if he would provide any cool codes. He has not yet answered, and I'm not going to announce that there are any because I don't know. Because I do know there's actually a little bit of a dust-up recently with one of the DDO people who asked for codes for his giveaway thing going on, but he's not a streamer. So it was just basically to, like, they were literally giving things away in the game. And so that person was a little bit out of line and kind of, like, was a little bit passive-aggressive about it. It's like, Standing Stone wouldn't work with me on this. And it's like, Cordovan even went on the forum thread and said, this is why we're not doing it. And the way the person reacted is, you're basically justifying the decision, bud. Just saying. But since this is not for, because what has happened is a lot of fan communities in both Lotro and DDO would reach out to Cordovan and ask him for, Lotro point codes to give away to people. And what they would do with it, they'd use it to boost the numbers in their Discord. To artificially inflate the numbers in their Discord. And so basically they stopped doing it. And recently somebody was asking for some codes for some other reason. Somebody else, not the DDO person. And Cord was thinking, well, should we go back and do this and start doing this? I'm like, no. People were pissy about it. And you're just going to open up a big can of worms. So that's my position, is I don't think they should do it. But that is basically just for getting people in a Discord. This event, like the ones that he does give event codes out to are ones where it's sponsoring like a community event or for a charity event or something where you're actually playing the game. And you're not just, adding people to your Discord or giving things away in one of the video games. Like, oh, hey, we had a whole bunch of people give me a pile of in-game things. Like, I don't know, what are some of the things like update tomes and pieces of gear and pets and blah, blah, blah. And some of the giveaways are, like, really, really nice. But nobody was actually... It wasn't like, oh, hey, we're hosting a teaching raid event and inviting the public to attend. It's basically like, oh, you have to play on this one specific server, and then we might give you something nice. You might win a role for something nice. And nobody was actually playing the game. So it's probably... I don't know. Again, I don't want to promise anything. At the very least, I'm still going to do the charity event. Because I find it is fun, and hopefully I can raise a few bucks for Extra Life, and then that will lead into... and what has typically happened... is that Cordovan has retroactively granted the folks who participated and donated during this one-day event, allowed them to get in on the rewards at the end of the year when we do the big Extra Life thing in November. So, I don't want to promise that either, but he's already done it for like the past 3 or 4 years running, so I don't foresee that changing, but we'll see. Anyhow. Alright. Darren, what you got, bud?
Master Orgelos is very excited, but you and the king should first present yourselves to the Lady Mara.
Hey, Mom, I'm bringing a king home for dinner. Okay, I'm actually going to do 2 things. I'm going to go get that stable master. By the way, our best friend Wenda Cranesbill's right over there. But I'm also going to talk to the dock master before I forget about it, because I did on the last character I brought through here, and then I kind of like, oh, well, shit. The Then once you open the stable master, you can get here from, for example, any of the far-ranging stable masters in the housing areas. And as always, TARDIS doors, painted blue, it's TARDIS door. It's totally a TARDIS door. Nothing you can say to make me think otherwise. It's the dock master. Hi.
You are here to help.
Yep. So I can go straight to Halrax. People keep telling me I should go to Halrax, something like that. Anyhow, I appreciate everybody being here today and listening to my paper. And I hope everybody enjoyed it. Hope it wasn't boring. Alright, am I lost? Yeah, I need to go back a bit further. You notice that they apparently have, I need to use the lift here. They have indoor plumbing and sewage in this town. Well, you know what? Screw this. Yeah, there was stairs. I could have used the stairs. What's the fun in that? At least unlike, why am I running? I have a horse. Unlike Moria's, Gundabad, and the lift that they had in Deepsgrave, at least you don't have to click on the thing to make it work. Alright, stable master.
We must not let our vigilance lapse.
Of course not. Yes, as you can see, this character has never been to Galtreb, or Moria. Or Edoras. Or Erebor. Somehow I managed to get to Felagos, though. That's kind of weird. And again, I'm fairly sure this character has never done the anniversary quest. I'm going to go check real quick just to make sure. Okay, so there's that. There's Festival. I've done the Baggins birthday stuff on this character. Oh, that's where I would have picked up Felagos from then. Oh man, the Ithildin coin quests. I don't think I've done those in like 10 years now. Alright, let's watch the floor freak out. Okay, that didn't take quite as long as it used to.
You and your traveling party are welcome to Lonkirion, King Elisar.
She's not happy.
Goloskil's heir is too young to rule.
Oh, this is the cranky guy, right? I should tell the king that the will can't be found. And this guy doesn't think the Lady Mara can rule until her son is old enough to rule. It's like, why not? Okay, well, I'm not gonna go tell the king anything for you, buddy. Thanks, Tomas. I appreciate you. That's one of the reasons why I like to do a second reading of it, or a second presentation of it, because I know that the one for the moot is only for the moot attendees, and you know, my community and the wider Signum community might be interested in it, and it's my own decision. It's my scholarship, right? And that's how it was explained to me when I first approached our friends at Signum to say, hey, well, can I and this is like 4 years ago when I did the paper on Tolkien video games in general at MythMoot in 2020. I was like, well, can I just do another copy of it so it, you know, it's not the same one?
I saw you and King Elisar when you arrived at Lon Curion in the company of young Master Orgulus.
Yep, there's some stuff going on. So much effort, you might as well use it. Right. So it's my scholarship, so Signum doesn't own my scholarship. And I don't think they... I think there's just basically a simple fact that the moot itself is a paid experience. And so the moot version of it should remain in the hands of moot attendees. And I totally agree with that. And so there wasn't any challenge to me representing. Nobody really... I don't think anybody really cares about that. The scholarship is the scholarship. Alright.
Ho there! I come here often to watch the soldiers training.
Alright. Alright, I'm gonna go back and talk to the king! And yes, I always keep saying the king! Just like, Carl Urban as Eomer on that impossibly angled ridge with the horses going down the ridge. Is like, no, no. Peter Jackson, no! It's like, the angle was like, no. Just no. Alright. And yes, you can fish in that. So you know what I could do is I could take you to my favorite fishing spot in Snowbourne. It's in the middle of town. It's just like a puddle in the middle of the street.
Lady Mara and I have come to an understanding.
Alright.
Lady Mara's scouts patrol the lands hereabout in search of Corsair raiding parties.
Okay, we gotta go save those people. Gotta go protect them. Gotta go protect them. Get some nice gloves on. Again, replacing a level 120 piece of gear. This is how powerful the Lore Master is. That you don't need the top tier item. Though I would have had more trouble if I hadn't redone my LIs. Keep thinking that's a door out, and now it's not. It's not. It's a frog pond. See, look at all these Corsairs when I didn't need... Alright. Let me summon my critter. Hi.
We must not let our vigilance lapse.
Corey would love to loot this guy's amazing green cummerbund. Oh hey, look at that. Isn't that nice? Alright, the next one's down on the beach. Then after the stream, I'm also going to go watch my friend Devilor, who's drinking and playing video games with his friends. Because it's what they call Bruv Night. Because one of the founders of their Bruv Night was this British dude. He always would say Bruv. It was part of their thing. He doesn't hang out with them as much anymore. He's got his own thing going, but the Brove Knight continues. It's like Devilor, Sloot, a whole bunch of other people. Alright. As you can see, the golden hour is taking place here. This would be a good place to actually watch it.
You are here to help?
No, maybe. And he's toast. Alright, let's get the last one. Got some Lojo points for completing my class deed that is way, way late in coming. Be happy if I could stop coughing every 5 seconds. There's no reason for the coughing either. It's like I feel like coughing. Yeah. Let's go save Borean. Who might be Borean. Borean. What does the fox say? One thing I might do between now and the anniversary itself is pull up the wiki page on where I need to go and then spend a day just running around Middle-earth unlocking all the stable masters I need to get where I need to go. I think that might be a good idea. Oh, hello. Because the last time, when I did this last year, I was on a hunter. So, as a hunter, I got away with a lot of travel.
Days of peace have come
things.
at last to Gondor.
Oh, you're... Oh, it's like that, is it? Well, alright, kids. Screw you all. I love Lightning Storm! Well, screw you up. Yeah. So, Ponton said earlier that the credits of the game that are available now go all the way back to the Shadows of Angmar era, which to me is fascinating because that will mean our good friend Igneous is in the game credits somewhere. At least you should be. But I don't know their name, and I'm not asking. Don't tell me. Don't want to know. I respect my friend's privacy. Kyber is a little bit worried. Why are you worried, sir?
Oh, I am glad you have returned. Will you accompany me, my friend? The king did not prohibit it so far as I know.
Okay, he's got ants in his pants for reasons. So this one I'm going to swap out. Definitely gonna swap out the teal ring. Alright, let's go.
Will you accompany me, my friend?
Yep.
The king did not prohibit it so far as I know.
Leopard didn't stream on it once he went through the whole thing. He took a while. Reading names. Nice. We can all raise a glass to Barathon, who sadly passed away last year.
Today we are gathered to hear the last wishes of Galasgil, Lord of Anfalos, who fell in service of the kingdom.
Get the old bog liquor out of the way for this.
Lord Galasgil's last wishes should have been presented before now. Why wait so many months to reveal his wishes?
I found them only today.
No, she didn't.
Oh, is that so? They were lost.
This guy's a bit of a dick.
Bring them forth, Lady Mara, if you will.
If you will, show us the will.
The seal is broken. How are we to know the contents of this testament are as Lord Galasgiel intended? Mara might have written anything within.
My scribe has much skill and experience with the written word.
Yeah.
He will tell us if Galasgiel wrote this testament. Kaibar, will you examine the writing contained within, please?
Oh, yes, of course, my king. It is true, the seal is broken, but the letter within is written in only one hand.
That proves nothing. Mara might have written or rewritten it in its entirety.
Lady Mara, can you produce a sample of your husband's writing for us?
Oh, I suppose there might be something within this chamber.
So she was just bawling,
My
and
friend,
she doesn't sound
find
like.
a sample of Galasgiel's writing. Show it to Kaibar.
Okay. Potentially Galasgil's notes. Possibly. Maybe. Perhaps. We'll pick this one. Notes on the currents assigned by Galasgil and contains music on the subject.
The handwriting matches perfectly.
Thank you, Kaibar. Read us now the last wishes of Lord Galasgiel, if you would.
Very well, my king. I, Galasgiel of Anfalas, make this record in the library of Lond Kirion, my home. Tomorrow I depart for Minas Tirith at the command of the steward Denethor. Should I not return, this testament will direct the disposal of my land and property.
And it drones on and on and on, like the game credits. It goes on and on and on. For the better part of an hour.
And to the fishing village of Melgobas, I leave that same sum in gold. I direct also that they be given my notes on water temperature and the currents.
Well, that's convenient.
The streams of Gondor all lead to the sea eventually.
Oh.
But it seems to me that even the Bay of Belfalas has rivers of its own. I have one more wish, and I hold it most dear. To my son Orgolas, I leave the great ship Folfaroth, the Wave Hunter. May he command the Wave Hunter in service of Gondor when he is old enough. I hope to stand alongside him on the deck when he does.
Well, that ain't gonna happen.
But if I cannot, may he follow in his father's footsteps all the same. To my dear wife Mara, I leave my love and all remaining lands and titles I possess. May she rule Anfalas well and wisely, until our son and my heir Orgolas comes of age.
Yeah, because she's not allowed to just rule it until she dies.
Thank you, Kaibar. As King of Gondor, I command that these wishes of loyal Galasgiel be carried out as best they may.
Yeah, damn it. Alright. Yeah, all y'all get the hell out of here.
am sorry, but it was very hard to hear these things.
She would not have told him to give the ship to their son.
I have to ask you something, Mara.
I am grateful for your discretion earlier, my king.
Alright, so... the cursed ship. She's not a fan.
I entreat you to forbid Orgelos from leaving Lon Kirian, no matter what his father has gifted to him.
Okay. Pick one, any one, and it doesn't matter which, because I'm a lore master.
I understand this request, Mara, but I fear you may do more harm with it than you will prevent.
Yeah, if you have the king say, don't do it, he'll know you're the one who asked him to do it. He'll hate you for it. Yeah, we'll take him with us.
I do not know.
Alright, we're taking Darren with us.
I am surprised Lady Mara has agreed to allow Orgelos to depart with the king and queen.
Alright, you'll do what you can to keep the boys safe.
Is it true? I am to depart with the king's party for Pinath Gelane? That is wonderful news!
Yep, you're coming with us.
Do you think there will be fighting?
I'm pretty sure there will be. Alright, chapter 4.1. And what's the king want?
Young Orgelos says the road we must take through
Alright.
Thingast may be haunted.
Oh no. However, I think that is going to be where I'm going to call it, because it's 3 hours into this happiness and I still have to edit the video. So thank you for being here. Thank you for the follow, King of Ramenshin. I'm sorry I missed that an hour ago because I need to fix my alerts. Igneous with a gifty to Tomas. And I will be back next week with the Extra Life Anniversary Charity event where I run the entire anniversary scavenger hunt from year 1 Tales whatever to year 11 and then the epilogue. It's gonna be a whole ass thing. And I will have both of the videos up on YouTube later this evening. They'll probably take forever to process. And I will be on DDO stream on Thursday. Back here Thursday night. And then on Lotra stream on Friday. I'll be taking Corey's place. Though I will, of course, be starting after Cordovan because I think Cordovan wants to do something special next week. And the week after. So that's the thing. Anyhow, y'all be good. And if you can't be good at it. Okay? Alright, let's get out of here. Alright. Bye now.